big.
Jacques du Toit, a property economist at Absa, joins me now for more. Thanks so much for your time on SABC News. What other advice would you give to a first-time buyer who might be watching?
Well, I would say they must look at their finances, look at property that is affordable based on their current financial position, but also looking forward. They don't have to stay in property, say, forever. As their financial position improves, they can always move on. But I believe financial affordability in terms of buying property is very important at this point in time, as we've already seen interest rates moving up a little bit during the course of the end of 2018. And it seems like we can expect another interest rate hike during the course of 2019.
Something that people are doing to try and cushion the economic blows is starting property stokvels. What are your thoughts on that in order to try and buy property?
Well, that I think in the property sector that is maybe a new sort of initiative, and I think that that is a situation or a type of product that can develop, definitely can develop further on down the line. But it is definitely a further opportunity and a different angle on buying property, which I think is a good thing, because property has become relatively expensive over the years, although price growth has been relatively low in recent times.
Let's talk about the state of the South African consumer and the value in outstanding credit balances in the South African household sector.
Yes, there we've seen growth up until late last year, up to November, of 5.5% in the household sector, which is not very strong growth compared to double-digit figures that we've seen in previous years. But that growth was to a large extent driven by your unsecured segment of household credit, and that is your credit cards, personal loans, microfinance, and overdraft on check accounts. While your secured credit, that is home loans for property and also vehicles, there we've seen much lower growth, especially in terms of mortgage loans, was around about 3.9% during the course of the first 11 months of last year.
And how much risk would there be going into this year and possibly next year with regard to the residential property market?
Well, the market has not performed relatively well over recent years, and the expectation is, against the background of the broader economic environment, also the state of consumer finances, credit records, and so forth, that the property market will grow into 2019, maybe at a little bit faster pace than in 2018, but relatively low growth still. So there is still a little bit of risk in terms of the performance of the market, and we still believe that at this point in time that the market is to a large extent still a buyer's market.
And in terms of returns, if someone is buying property as an investment, how long do they have to be prepared to wait to see returns on that investment?
Yes, you know, there you've got an income stream that you can derive on a monthly basis if you rent out that property, but then there's also the issue of capital appreciation. Now, we've seen that capital appreciation has been relatively slow in recent years. The expectation is that the situation will continue. So my view is in terms of property investment, and especially in terms of capital appreciation, that you should look at an investment horizon of about, I should say, 5 years plus up to 7 years to get really an acceptable return on your investment.
Thanks so much for your time on SABC News. Jacques du Toit, property economist at Absa, joining me in studio there. Thanks so much for joining us on Point. It's goodbye to our SABC3 viewers. You'll hear the details after the break with Azwita Kadziduani. Goodbye from me.